Your brain can make you feel behind, not ready, and not good enough, even when your life is actually fine. What if you could stop believing every thought and start steering your mind on purpose? In the next few minutes, I'll show you a handful of simple, science-backed switches to catch the lie, calm the signal, and take control, fast. And before we start, I'm not saying your brain is broken. I'm saying it's biased. It was built for survival, not happiness, not confidence, and not your big goals. So if you've ever felt fear when you were actually safe, or doubt when you were actually capable, that's not weakness, that's programming. Here's the good news. Once you can spot the patterns, you stop getting yanked around by them. You'll see why your brain clings to negative stuff, how it cherry-picks proof, how to shut down emotional overreactions, and how to turn decisions into automatic action. And one of these switches takes less than 10 seconds. Seriously, stay with me. First, you need to understand something that explains a huge part of your anxiety, your hesitation, and your self-doubt. If your brain had a job title, it wouldn't be Dream Builder. It would be Risk Manager, and it's dramatic on purpose. Your mind naturally gives more weight to problems than progress. One awkward moment can feel bigger than 10 wins. One critical comment can replay for days. And because your brain is trying to protect you, it whispers, stay small, stay safe. Don't try, not because it hates you, because it thinks discomfort equals danger. That's the lie. Your brain treats emotional discomfort like physical danger, so you avoid the thing that could upgrade your life, and then you call it being realistic. So here's what you do, starting today. When you catch yourself spiraling, say this out loud, my brain is scanning for danger. That sentence creates distance. You're not the thought, you're the observer of the thought. Then you build a new file your brain doesn't build on its own, a progress file. Once a day, write one sentence. Proof I'm improving is Yama. One sentence, not a journal, not a novel, just one piece of evidence. Your brain collects threats automatically. You're collecting growth on purpose. Next, shrink the meaning. Replace "this is bad" with "this is data," because most setbacks aren't disasters. They're feedback, they're information, they're the cost of upgrading. And here's a quick reset you can do in 30 seconds. Ask, what's one thing that's working right now? Your brain hates that question because it forces it to zoom out. It forces balance. Pattern interrupt. Listen closely. Your brain is a safety device, not a truth machine. Just because a thought is loud doesn't mean it's true. Now, if you can do that, you'll notice the next lie right away. It's sneakier because it feels like logic. Have you ever noticed how your brain can build a whole court case against you, using only evidence it likes? This is the way your mind cherry-picks proof. If you believe, I'm not confident, your brain spotlights every shaky moment and edits out the times you were brave. If you believe I always mess up, it will replay your mistakes on repeat and skip over your recoveries. So you don't experience reality. You experience your brain's highlight reel. Let me ask you a real question. If your mind only shows you the clips that support your worst belief, how would you ever feel ready? Here's how you break the cherry-pick loop. Write the belief as a clean sentence, not I feel. Write, I am. Like, I am not disciplined. I am behind. I am not good enough. Because identity beliefs are the ones that lock you in. Then force the other side. Ask, what would I notice today if the opposite were true? If you believed you were capable, what would count as evidence? What would you see? What would you stop ignoring? Now use a rule that sounds simple, but it hits hard. The two-proof rule. You must list 2 real examples that contradict the belief, no matter how small. 2 times you followed through. 2 times you handled something hard. 2 times you showed up even when you didn't feel like it. Your brain will try to argue. It will say, those don't count. Don't negotiate, just list. And for the next 24 hours, treat the belief like a hypothesis, not an identity. You're gathering data, not reading a verdict. Now, Quick curiosity check. Even if you fix your thinking, you're still going to feel emotions when you step into something bigger. And this is where most people lose control, because they believe the next lie. When you feel anxiety, your brain loves to call it a prediction, but it's usually just a signal. You feel fear, and your brain says, that means something bad will happen. You feel shame, and your brain says, that means you're not enough. You feel tension, and your brain says, that means stop. That's the lie. Emotion is information, not a prophecy. So here's the tool that takes less than 10 seconds when you get good at it. Label the emotion, not analyze it, not explain it. Label it. I'm anxious. I'm disappointed. I'm embarrassed. I'm overwhelmed. Simple words. Because when you name the feeling, you stop being trapped inside it. You move from reaction mode to regulation mode. Do this 4-step reset. First, name it in a short sentence. I feel anxious. Second, locate it. It's in my chest. It's in my throat. It's in my stomach. That pulls you out of the story and into the body. Third, add a normal reason. Because this matters to me. This turns panic into meaning. It reminds you, I'm not in danger, I'm in growth. Fourth, choose the next tiny move, not the whole plan. 1 email, 1 paragraph, 1 minute, anything forward. And here's the spiral stopper sentence I promised earlier. Say it out loud the moment you start catastrophizing. This is a feeling, not a forecast. Feelings are loud. That doesn't make them accurate. Now, you're calm enough to act. But your brain will try another trick. It'll say you need motivation first. You don't. If your goals depend on feeling like it, your brain will always find a reason to delay. That's why you can want something deeply and still not do it. So instead of relying on motivation, you preload a decision. Here's how. Tie your action to a cue. You pick a situation that already happens, something reliable, and you attach a tiny action to it. When I finish my coffee, I will write 5 lines. When I sit on my couch, I will do 2 minutes of stretching. When I open my laptop, I will work for 10 minutes of stretching. When I open my laptop, I will work for 10 minutes before I check anything else. Because if your brain gets to negotiate in the moment, it will always bring a reasonable excuse. Let me ask you this. How many dreams have you delayed because you were waiting to feel ready? Here's how you set your cue and action plan. Choose one goal you've been stalling on. Just one. Don't turn this into a self-improvement shopping cart. Choose a cue that's already in your day, after brushing teeth, after lunch, at a specific time. When you walk into a room, make the action tiny, 2 minutes, 5 reps, 1 paragraph. A small action is not embarrassing, it's unstoppable. Then add a rescue rule. If you miss today, tomorrow you do the tiny version. No guilt, no drama. Because your brain loves turning one miss into I failed, and then it uses shame as a reason to quit. Pattern interrupt. You don't need a perfect streak. You need a fast recovery. Now, even with a plan, you'll hit a deeper layer. It's the identity layer. It's the moment your brain says, that's not who we are. And the most dangerous sentence you can say is, I'm just not that kind of person. Because once you label yourself, your brain starts protecting the label. It will sabotage you to stay consistent. It will keep you small to keep you familiar. So you need to change your language from labels to training. Instead of I'm not disciplined, you say, I'm training discipline. Instead of I'm bad at this, you say, I'm practicing. Instead of I can't, you say, not yet. That not yet matters. It keeps the door open. It stops the sentence from becoming a life sentence. Try this simple identity reframe. Catch the label. The moment you say I am, followed by something limiting. Pause. I'm practicing showing up. I'm learning how to focus. I'm getting better at handling discomfort. Then prove it with 1 rep today. 1 attempt, 1 uncomfortable action. Not because it's huge, but because it's evidence. Your identity isn't what you say. It's what you repeatedly do. Now we're at the core truth. Your brain lies with thoughts. but it controls you with patterns. Most of your day isn't decisions, it's default settings. And defaults don't care about your dreams. Your habits run like loops. There's a cue, then a routine, then a reward. That's why you can end up scrolling without noticing. Your brain sees the cue. Maybe boredom, maybe stress, maybe a notification. Then it runs the routine. Then it collects the reward, and it calls the whole thing normal. So the goal isn't to try harder. Goal is to redesign the loop. Here's the reset. First, find the cue. When do you slip? What time is it? Where are you? What are you feeling? What's in your hand? Be specific. Vague awareness doesn't change behavior. Second, keep the reward but swap the routine. If the reward is relief, don't fight relief. Redirect it. If stress is the cue and relief is the reward, your new routine can be a 2-minute walk, 10 deep breaths, or 1 page of journaling. Same reward. Better routine. Third, make the good habit easier than the bad one. Put the book on the pillow. Put the workout clothes by the door. Put the healthy food in front. Move the distracting app off your home screen. Don't rely on willpower when you can use design. Fourth, add small novelty a couple times a week. A new playlist, a new location, a slightly harder version. Not to overwhelm you, just to wake your brain up and keep learning alive. Your mind pays attention to new. Use that. Now I want you to do a quick future test with me. Picture your future self in 30 days if you change one loop. Just one. How do you wake up? How do you carry yourself? What do you trust about yourself? Now picture 30 days if you don't. Same loops, same excuses, same quiet frustration. Which pain do you want? Because here's the truth. You can avoid discomfort now, or you can avoid regret later. You don't get to avoid both. So let's lock this in. Your brain lies in predictable ways. It runs a threat filter, so negativity feels louder than progress. It cherry-picks evidence, so the same story keeps repeating. It treats emotions like emergencies, so you label the feeling and turn down the volume. It sells you later, so you tie action to a cue and remove negotiation. It glues you to labels, so you switch to training identity and not yet. And it runs autopilot, so you redesign the habit loop and make growth easier there. End the old pattern. You don't need more motivation. You need more control. Pick one of these and do it today, not tomorrow, today. Because the longer you wait, the more the lie becomes your life. And comment this: my brain's lie is, and my new rule is, 0.5. And if you want the next step, watch the next video on building habits that actually stick. Your future self will thank you.